All right, hopefully this records this time. My heater's on, it'll kick off in a minute. That's what you're hearing in the background. So if it's annoying, I don't know, get over it, I guess. So, you ever made a video that's like 5 or 10 minutes long that you've talked about all the stuff and everything you wanted to see and wanted your YouTube audience to see, and then figured out it wasn't recording? That's what just happened to me. I talked for probably 10 minutes or so and figured out it didn't record. So that's pretty frustrating, pretty irritating. But I'm gonna go back over. We'll start over again and I'll see if I can kind of take you through what I've got here. So this is the Eastwood 27-inch bead roller. A super deep throat. Yeah, let the jokes begin. It seems to be all that, and so I got it, was super excited. It's got a motor for it over here that attaches to this end, and I was ready to just, you know, get it out of the box and start rolling. It comes with a handle over there that you can crank, which if you're gonna crank it, there's no way you're gonna be able to sit over here and, you know, get straight. You can see I've got it partially disassembled right now with the gear out here and all this kind of stuff, so I'll get into that in a minute. So this design, Eastwood designed this, but they ship it off to China to have it made. So if you're a Trump fan, you'll know made in China. China. Okay, that's kind of the downfall of this product, because I'm not sure how good the quality control is of the people in China, what they, you know. When I got this, there were some things that I didn't care for. This right here is all rusted. Hopefully you're seeing that. Let me pull my camera down a little bit. So that was all rusted, and you can see it's pitted out and everything. Well, that's just a collar that slides back and forth. Well, these collars came in here, or back here, it's on the other side. When it came, it was slid back like this, and then I guess as it rode, it sat and slid back and forth and just beat this collar all the way up onto here. Whereas you can see that little deal right there, well, there's where it's supposed to stop. That's the groove. It beat it up onto the round part, and then I couldn't get that loose, so I had to push it back down to here to get that to break loose. So I had to basically hammer that back over to here, which was a pain in the butt. I thought I was going to end up breaking off the set screw. Well, there's set screws right in here. Let me make sure it's a problem with the GoPro that I'm finding now, is I'm not sure you see exactly what I'm trying to show you sometimes, so it looks like I am. So set screw here, and then there's a set screw right here. Okay, well, when I put this together, it was binding pretty bad. Like you'd get to a certain point and it would just stop. So I had taken this completely apart. There were burrs on the inside of these blocks that were actually grooving up this shaft, where they had tapped through and they didn't go back in there and dress where it pushed through. So I went in with my grinder, this little grinder right here, got inside that hole and just kind of just spun it around and knocked that burr off there good. These things are freaking amazing. And did that on all of them. Then went back in, kind of, these are also, to let you know, these are cast. They're not machined out. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing, but I guess for the price point, that you get what you get. It's gonna work fine. It's just, don't think you're gonna take this out of the box and just take off running with it, because it's not gonna happen. You're gonna be really disappointed. I started out with the crank on it first. It was really tight, wasn't working right. Couldn't tighten any of this stuff down without it locking up completely. I was just like, what in the heck is going on? So again, I took it all apart, took all these blocks out, I didn't re-tap them, but I chased the threads. As I chased the threads, it pushed metal out more, so I had to go back in, re-grind all that out of there. There's quite a bit of work to this straight out of the box. So if you're handy, you know, you can fix this and make it work right, and it's going to be fantastic. I'm sure when I'm done, I'm going to love it. But if you're not handy, well, you probably shouldn't be buying a bead roller anyway. You should probably stay away from tools if you're not handy, because you're probably going to get hurt. So I figured out that as I was sliding this, let me slide these gears back together here, and I've already deburred what I'm talking about. There's burrs. What they've done is that set screw sits on this flat. So as they drilled hole through, then they went and tapped that through. Well, I don't think they cleaned up this after they tapped it, so there were some burrs sticking up. So I took a little tiny file here and set and basically went back and forth and filed that out. So we'll see now about what, if that's going to spin better than it was, which I need to put this bottom back on here first. One thing I really don't understand is when you push this up, it puts those gears into a bind. Well, it has to go up to put your metal in between there. So it's gonna be up a little bit when you start. Let me lock that bottom one back down too. What I'm getting at is I don't understand, and I'm not a freaking, not even close to an engineer, but you would think they would put a taper on the back end of these gears. That way when they come together, it wouldn't bind so bad. So like right now, it's bound up pretty good. And so I have to release that to get that back down to where it needs to be. So on these, there's a flat here. You just tighten your tighten these down onto the flat. Make sure that's, yep, that's right. Make sure you're set up good here. And then the gears are meshed in. And so I let the tension off that. And so, yeah. So it looks like what I did there probably fixed a lot of my issues. All right, I got this working. Got it all lubed up, cleaned up, all the burrs off of it. Got the motor hooked up to it. Still need to put this little guy on here and here. But other than that, here's your speed control, forward and reverse and off. Foot pedal down there. It doesn't work unless it's plugged in. That's crazy. You'd think they'd make it work off solar power, but it doesn't. So you gotta plug it in. And then you can see it turning. So, I've already made a bead here. Show you how this works. Well, let me lock my vise down first. All right, see there? So I clearly played with this a bunch. Got all these little shapes and sizes going, which you can see here. There you go. Ran all this stuff just playing with it earlier. And so it does all kinds of stuff. Bent that up, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I was just going to show you that it's I got it working. Seems to be working really well. I got all this in and ran the beads in there. You can see that. You see how it comes in and goes up, turns. That's where my bead well or my roll was. So now basically this needs to be primered and then welded in to where it's butt welded in. And I'm gonna plug weld where the original plug welds were. That way it stays factory looking. But hopefully that'll show. Probably won't without a light, but that bead just keeps on running straight on down. I don't know if I have my light somewhere here or not. So you can see there, maybe. Bead just keeps on. So we'll sew that back together and make it look like factory, hopefully. So that's that. Anyway, I thought I'd let you know. Got the bead roller going, and that's 27-inch Eastwood Elite, and works well. Like I said, out of the box, you're not going to use it. You're going to be disappointed. But if you take the time to go ahead and take it apart, deburr everything, get it all hooked up right, then you should be good to go. Like I said, this thing goes both ways. Come back this way, and also your speed control here, if you turn it all the way up, it rolls pretty dang fast. Faster than you're probably going to want to roll most things. That's pretty fast. If you're trying to go around a corner, you'd have to slow that way down, which is what they say you can do. Is if you're going straight like that, you can slow down, come over here and turn this down a little bit, and then you can start your corner if you have to go, you know, like that. So it, there you go.